Hey guys, we are back with another topic for y'all. And today's is very it's kind of I can't even put it in formation like with all the things that's going on with ICE, you know what I mean? They're pulling up, snatching people. But hold on. Look where they just pulled up to.
But first, we're following some breaking news out of Los Angeles. ICE agents were stationed just outside of Dodger Stadium, and we now know the Dodgers team denied access to these agents who were trying to get inside. We're going to take you now to our partners at CBS News Los Angeles for more. All right, so my producer just told me I'm trying to see over this group of protesters. It looks like the LAPD is still here, but that those ICE agents, the feds, actually left out of a different gate here at Dodger Stadium. They were going to come right through this crowd, and the police were trying to have the folks here move off to the side, but they kind of held their ground. So again, it looks like those agents, at least the few trucks I saw parked here, left out of a different gate. We're not sure how many remain. We saw from SkyCal some of the vans and the trucks that had parked here. Again, this really just taken up in the last few hours, and this ICE crackdown started President Donald Trump push to be tougher on immigration. So we're saying back just in case there are some sorts of foul language being kind of too much of that. It's remained pretty peaceful here as they're just continuing to chant and make their voices heard. And those fans out here saying that they will not join the game, they want to be watching from afar, just make that stance, kind of boycott the Dodgers until they hear something, until they see something done. They say, lock your Dodger Stadium, it's going to be all Dade County. And we're just watching our coverage of CBS.
Who's that one for? For the ICE?
Yeah.
For the ICE.
You know what it is.
I was just making sure. I don't know what side you were standing on. So
you know what side. I've been out there in the field, so you know what side. And if you don't know what side, go look at the vids. I believe right now, man, we all should be together, man. Sticking together, riding together. And I just believe, this. When I seen it was running up in churches.
Trying to get in schools.
You know what I'm saying? It's like all you doing is evoking fear in people, man.
And not only that, they're evoking rage.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
That not just fear, because that fear was there for a minute, and then now it's turning into.
It's gonna translate to rage for sure.
Yeah, I just feel like they out here just like treating us like animals, trying to capture them.
This is wild right here. But this is like, he's doing stuff like this too, like just to make a statement, saying like you're not safe. And that's crazy because for America to feel like that is like we headed in some precedented times. To understand that you going to a game 9 times out of 10 when you go to stuff like that, you're going with your family. You know what I'm saying? So when you not even going thinking about what could happen. You going to have a good time.
That part. To eat a glizzy. To watch your team.
To eat a glizzy?
I know you don't eat them, but a lot of people out there eat them glizzies.
Now that's structure.
That's structure. If you talk about it, that's crazy. But yeah.
And not only too, I want to add too. Also, I want to add too. That's gonna mess up the Dodger Stadium money.
That's it. What you're not understanding, what people not understanding, is how the bag is getting messed up. From every angle.
Yeah, all around.
And it's gonna affect all of us. You know what I'm saying? It's an ecosystem. I tell people the economy is an ecosystem. When a group of people not making money, it's going to be a group of people being affected in a different way. Yeah. So, like, you got to think about it. Like, if people start pulling up to the games, think about all the people that work at the Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
That eventually, if this continues to happen, they're going to have to...
Yeah, they're going to have people not showing up for the job. They're going to have people not showing up and getting in them seats. And if they're not in them seats... Who not getting paid? A lot of people.
So, yeah, this is wild.
It's like every couple weeks it gets interesting and interesting.
Every day.
Yeah, every day.
It's
True.
every day.
Because I feel like now that Trump has summoned them again to keep pulling up at these locations, in a minute, people not going to want to pop out.
And I think, too, when you really think about it, this is like in depth, deep. This is going to cause a lot of division in families. Because, you know, them workers, a lot of them workers, they got family members that don't think this shit is cool. So now people don't even think of that side. Think about it. Somebody got to do the job. You ever get a ticket, nigga about to give you a ticket, you pull up to your car and you be like, man, I'm just doing my job. But it's like your job is corny though.
Your job is whack.
You got a whack job, bro. You about to give me a ticket, bro. I was just in here 10 minutes, man. But you, so you got to think about like these people that's pulling up, man. They got family members that's like, they know. Like if I knew a nigga work for ICE right now that was my uncle or something, I'd be like, bro, you a op.
Yeah.
You a op, bro.
Yeah, so if my commissioner is like, all right, I know you guys don't want to do this, but we got to pull up and we got to get these immigrants, man.
You got to leave the job, bro. You got to let that one go.
And then you got some that are just like, you know what I mean? Oh, you know what? My dad said something very interesting. He said some of these people that are like masked up on the ICE side, they could be personating as ICE, but they are, you know what I mean? He said KKK, but not to that extreme, but they're pulling up in unmarked cars. They're pulling up with masks. I feel what I'm trying to say.
Sure,
what I'm trying to say
people
is
can't leverage off the situation.
Exactly.
They always do.
People are gonna just start pulling up and just grabbing people that are not even part of the program.
Yeah,
so
that's deep. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, that happens when you got stuff like this. People are always trying to figure out a way how they can finesse.
Because there's people too that agree. They are for ICE pulling up people and grabbing these immigrants. And then the other half is like, this is unjust. Like, this is not fair. This is not what America is about. So if you got those 50-50, and you know, they're influenced by what they're seeing.
I don't even think it's a 50-50 because, like, man, it's been out here for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks. I knew it was different when I seen nigga went from Santa Monica and seen that turn out to like going downtown. And a lot of people not really, it might be more 70-30.
Yeah, but they not out in the open, trust me. Because when I posted that protest stuff on my page, it was a lot of people like, yes, thank you.
Nah.
Why are they burning down the city? They need to leave. Like, it was a lot of people. Now, I won't, maybe 50-50 is extreme, but it's definitely a percentage.
It is people out there that is on that side for sure.
So,
and that's sick because it's like, how could you even like want that's like, but that's the world we live in, you know.
Yeah.
I guess that's what gives the world the dynamic of thought and perspective, because it's all perspective at the end of the day, you know. But when you really think about the bigger perspective, let's get deep. At the end of the day, the more divided we is, the further we go backwards and forwards. We feel like we're going back to slavery times and all that, you know what I'm saying? They used to, you know what I'm saying? They used to take niggas from that.
Well, they say history repeats itself.
And do it just in a different way, in a different fashion. And I feel like that's what we not moving forward right now. We're moving backwards.
And I think we're headed towards a new type of war we've never really seen. Or maybe we have seen it and we just never were there to witness it. You know what I mean? We heard about it, we read about it. But what if this is like a form of how it begins? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? No, you don't know what I'm saying?
I see you on your Erykah Badu. You trying to go real deep, but it's
I'm
like,
not
really,
you know what I'm saying? You trying to be real thoughtful, vocal, you know what I'm saying? But now I get what you're saying. You just basically saying like we never seen it in our times, but this has happened in the past. Yeah, there was World War One, there was World War II.
Now it's about to be 3, they say. So it's just, you know, we getting blessed to see it in real time. You know what I'm saying? But I do say like, for the youth, it's whack.
Yeah, they definitely don't know how to handle this. All they know is rage, violence. They don't know no peace.
It's not even that. It's just because like when this happened in the past, I feel like there was no internet. So like, what's different from now and then, from just my perspective, I didn't live back then, but what I could see is that, like, when this is happening in LA, 50 years ago, before the TV and things was big, it wasn't the fire, the gasoline wasn't as united everywhere. You know what I'm saying? To oppose, like, when stuff like this is happening, everybody's seeing it in real time on their phone, because everybody's on their phone every day. Yeah. You feel me?
So that just magnifies things even more.
Yes, it makes things speed up. It makes things go faster, and that rage that you say that the kids know about is privy because this is their future. You know, a kid 9 times out of 10 in middle school and high school, they're on their phone at least 12 hours out the day. So if you don't know how to turn that off, or you don't have the if you don't have the discernment to like decipher what's real and not real, it's hard. So you know.
Well, I definitely think this is not going to continue. It's definitely going to continue. I was going to say, I definitely think this is not going to stop. You know what I mean? This is not the end. So I think everybody should just kind of prepare their kids, have that conversation, because what if they pull up in front of them and people start getting snatched? They need to know, like, oh, this is what my parents was talking about. Yeah. I need to react, versus kids just being blindsided and just like, you know, being clueless to the whole situation. So
it's crazy you brought that up, but you know, this just to kind of bring it full circle, that's kind of like, you know, at the end of the school year, you know, one of Seven's friends, I'm not gonna say the name, but she was like, such and such ain't been here in the last couple of days. Yeah,
and that's exactly when all that stuff was happening downtown,
and so Seven's worried, and I had to explain to her, like, you know, they may be possibilities of what could happen, and they just playing defense. And right now, it's a perfect time to play defense, Seven. Right. For, you know, based off the situation, it's not always offense. Sometimes you gotta play defense. I broke it down like that, where she can kind of understand. Yeah. But yeah, these are real conversations that you gotta have, because if not, if it does hit the fan, everybody gonna be looking up like, what's going on?
Exactly. And like I was telling you, I was saying this is a part of history now. This is gonna be in some type of history textbook. So. Yeah. You don't think so?
I do. I believe it. The textbook thing, I believe, like...
Okay, maybe not in the textbook, but this is definitely a part of history, and they're going to be like, at one point in 2025, you know, ICE came and they were snatching immigrants. Immigrants weren't allowed. That. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to go back and definitely bring this as a pivotal moment in life.
And it's not really just the Hispanic culture, too. There's all different kinds of immigrants from different countries. So, you know, who knows? Trump might target a whole nother race next. We don't know. So, it's
just be aware. I think the thing about it is, like you said, it can happen to anybody. So that's more of a reason why we should have an open mind, that it shouldn't just be one-sided. Yeah. You know?
And we was talking about this on the patio too. Like, how should we prepare now that we know ICE is just going out snatching people, pulling up in random places? Remember we were talking about people need to carry like their birth certificate on them now, or you know what I mean, more identification of some sort, or just to, you know what I mean, like in case.
But you know what's interesting now to seeing this? It's like, even if, okay, let's say if they come to snatch you and you like, look, I got it all. Them niggas, it seems like niggas are still, they
might, but I'm gonna dangle that thing in their face, like,
like this is, I'm here. I'm a citizen.
I'm fighting back. At that point, I have a reason to fight back. I have my documentation right here.
Yeah, because I've seen on the news people, they've been taking people that's like, they have the legal
their citizenship.
And they still taking people, so it's like at that point.
But I'd rather have something than nothing.
Yeah, always. You always want to have something, but you're right though. How do you counter that?
Yeah, not all, like with all this information, you got to think ahead.
You have to. That's the only way to counter. You have to think
ahead. You can't live in this moment of, wow, look at that happening. You got to step into it and be like, if this happens to me,
how can I play
a
defense?
family member, what should I do? So if you prepare ahead of time,
preparation prevents poor performance.
Exactly. So, yeah. With that being said, I hope you guys prepare, stay safe, and make your voices heard. You know
as much as you can. Yeah, that's a fact.
So yeah, comment down below. How do you guys feel about this? What's your perspective? And yeah, till next time. United through music. See you guys later.